Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is the fifth day of our series on prophets. We are focusing on the Quranic description of these prophets. In fact, when we look at the lives of these prophets, we, through their individual characterization, develop a holistic picture of the institution of prophets and the role they play and they played in their own times. And we will come to that towards the end of this series. So today we will focus on Prophet Idris alayhi salam. The Quran does not say when he was sent. The Quran does not give specifically his time. The Quran does not specifically give his community. And the Quran mentions that he is a prophet who is truthful. He is a prophet who is patient and who perseveres. And the Quran mentions Idris alayhi salatu wasalam in 3 verses. 2 of them are in Surah Maryam, which is the 19th chapter of the Quran, verse 57 and verse 56. And the third reference to Prophet Idris alayhi salatu wasalam is mentioned in Surah Al-Anbiya, which is the 21st surah of the Quran, and it is in the 85th verse of that Surah Al-Anbiya, where he is mentioned as among those who are the people who persevere. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describing the character of the prophet, because all prophets have to be truthful and all prophets have to be have perseverance. And it is in this particular context that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, while mentioning the names of the prophet, also mentions the name of Idris alayhi salatu wasalam as someone who was truthful, who was someone who persevered in his life in communicating his message to the people. Now, Idris alayhi salatu wasalam in the biblical language or in the Bible is described as Enoch, E-N-O-C-H. And in the Bible, he is said to follow Seth, who was the son of Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. But we are not going into that because this is not what our focus is. Our focus is the Quran. Now, one of the important things about Prophet Idris alayhi salatu wasalam is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses an expression which he also uses for Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. He says that he was given a higher station. So it gives us an idea that probably in his times he was facing severe issues and severe problems with the people who were opposed to him, who were basically questioning his integrity, who were doubting his message, and who were considering him as an outcast. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assured him and assured all others who believed in him that he has a higher station. Often this expression in Arabic is translated as he was raised to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We'll come to that when we will talk about Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. But in the context of both Isa alayhi salatu wasalam and Idris alayhi salatu wasalam, it is mentioned that they were bestowed with dignity by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they were given the honor and respect, and they were placed in higher stations, means that the message that they communicated brought relief to people, brought comfort to people in the end, and ultimately, and they were successful in communicating and convincing the people of the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one more thing that is mentioned in the Bible but not mentioned in the Quran, that he was born in Babylonia, which is part of Iraq. But we are not going into that because we still, on the basis of the authority of the Quran, cannot say exactly the location of the prophets unless it's mentioned in the Quran. And we believe what is important in the description of the prophets is the message and the life. So, what is the message that is emerging? That those who want to follow the prophets have to be truthful, that those who want to follow the prophets have to be perseverant, that they should have perseverance, and then those who are faced with the difficulties and with the questions about their integrity must understand that they would be placed in higher stations by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this world and the world hereafter. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم.
We hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to our channel.